We briefly saw earlier that PHP MyAdmin was a component of the XAMPP software we installed. PHP MyAdmin is a graphical user interface used to execute SQL scripts on our MySQL databases. We're going to use PHP MyAdmin to create a new database. Our course project heads us in the direction of creating a customer relationship management system, or CRM, and it's our alpha version of this. So let's call this Alpha CRM. We'll use Alpha CRM, both the MySQL database and the PHP application, throughout this course. In the Create Database box, type Alpha CRM, all in lowercase. Don't worry about collation. Our MySQL software will default to a value that's fine for Western European and similar languages. So just click Create. Notice under where it says Database Alpha CRM has been created, the SQL for the create command is given. It's very simply Create Database Alpha CRM. Notice the keyword phrase Create Database and the name of the database in single quotes, and the whole SQL command terminated with a semicolon. The semicolon, unlike PHP, as it happens, is only essential to separate multiple SQL commands issued at the same time. Let's demonstrate this command in a different way. Copy the SQL in the grey box under the green strip, sweep over it with your mouse, press Ctrl-C to copy this. Click the SQL tab and paste the copied text into the SQL box. Click in the box and use Ctrl-V to paste the text. Now change the word Alpha CRM, you should be able to double click on that, to Fred, and click Go to execute this new SQL statement. We're now informed that your SQL query has been successfully executed. We have created a new database called Fred. Click Server Localhost at the top and then the Databases tab to reveal that two new databases, Alpha CRM and Fred, are now listed. Click the box to the left of Database Fred and click the drop icon. Again, notice that the SQL is displayed, drop database Fred, and because it's a drop command, you're asked to confirm that you really want to delete this whole database. Click Yes, because we really don't want a database called Fred on our server. Now let's add some tables to our project database, Alpha CRM. Click on the database, and immediately it asks you to create a new table and for the number of fields. Remember, fields is an alternative word for column name or attribute, so it's asking for the number of columns in the table. You don't need to specify this exactly right now, as this, like anything else, can be changed later. Enter T Company as the table name and enter 3. Notice that T Company starts with a lowercase t followed by an uppercase C for company, and click Go. You're now being asked for information about the 3 columns or fields. For the field names, enter ID, name and postcode. For the type of field ID, leave it as type int and enter a length of 11. For type name, the company name, change this to varchar, or variable character length, and enter 250 for the length. For type postcode, again change it to varchar and enter a length of 50. For ID only, we'll make this a primary index. So for index type under the field ID, choose primary. We'll also choose to auto-increment this index, which means that the value will start at 1 and automatically increase every time we insert another record or company. Don't worry about any of the other options for now. We'll come back to them later. Click Save to create these 3 columns in the database. And observe the SQL command that's been used to create these columns and the table T Company. We'll come back to this type of page later. So, recapping that, PHP MyAdmin is a graphical tool we can use to get our database started, to check and debug the SQL syntax and quickly create data structures without setting up any PHP scripts. In this section, we learn to use PHPMyAdmin to create a new database, to drop or delete a database, to create tables in the database, and to create attributes or columns in the tables.